Never die. Never die.
Fuck you. It is 3:58 in the morning, but before I get into today's podcast, I want to thank Blackstone Labs for sponsoring this podcast, and you can get 20% off your entire order at blackstonelabs.com. Look, you're trying to get jacked, you're trying to get shredded, you're trying to put on muscle, you're trying to get, summer body ready. Well, guess what? Blackstone Labs has supplements that can assist you in that. The protein, pre-workouts, branching amino acids, thermogenics, they have all those things. And you can get 20% off your entire order at blackstonelabs.com. That is 20% off your entire order, blackstonelabs.com. Just use promo code B2the4thpower at checkout. Also to CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. That is CH Concrete. No job too big, no job too small. Commercial, residential, does not matter. If you want to cement your backyard, you want to cement your front yard, you want to do a driveway, foundations, your patios, walkways, it does not matter. They can take care of it for you. That's CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. All right, now let's get into today's podcast. And like I said, I got a special guest, Coach Ken. Thank you for coming back.
What's up, brother?
So how you holding up during this whole pandemic?
I mean, I don't know. Being in the house hasn't been really my issue. I don't mind being in the house. I'm usually a homebody anyway. I grew up being outside with my friends as a kid all the time, but it just irritates me of my rights is my only thing that really bothers me. I don't want my gym to be closed. I don't want to be told to wear a mask. I don't have a mask. I have not worn one. I've only been told maybe one time so far. At Panera Bread, they were open, and then they said, you can't come in without a mask. I'm like, I just did. I walked up to the counter. I'm like, why? She's like, well, it's a rule. Or no, orders. I'm like, what do orders mean?
Yeah.
There's no law. I don't like arguing with people, but, I mean, when it comes to my rights, I don't have a gun, but I think everyone that wants a gun should have one. And I think if you practice your religion your certain way, that's your religion. The freedom of our country is basically supposed to be our way of life, our way of thinking. We get to choose and freedom and stuff like that. And when that's taken away, it's just not cool. But other than that, I mean, I felt up okay. I tried to order some bands to work out. They just came like 2 weeks ago. So it took a month to get here. So after a couple of weeks, I thought, well, maybe this will blow over, and it didn't blow over. But so I did some bands a couple of times. I've not lost any weight. Well, I lost like 6 pounds. I didn't gain any weight.
Yeah.
Gym opens up today. Thank God. I guess I told you before, I've been going back and forth with the owner. I'm like, hey, just open the gym. We'll all support you if we have to.
Yeah.
We'll lock the door. And if members want to, they'll knock on the door, let the members in. Please show up, lock it, and say, and just walk away. If they beat the door down, that's destruction of property.
Yeah.
If they come in, that's invasion of privacy. I'm like, we're good. Don't worry about it.
No, that's how it goes. That's it. Like over here, I haven't stopped working. I've continued working. Like I said, I work for Costco, so this whole pandemic thing, there was a lot of rules and a lot of things implemented. They put up those glass panels. They're like 6 feet away.
We'll rip them down.
But that's the thing too is like, with everything going on, none of our members, none of the people that shop at Costco give a fuck about these rules, give a fuck about keeping it 6 feet away. For a while, they actually were only letting a certain amount of people in the store at a time. And then from what I understand, somebody came in from corporate and they're like, why is there a line outside? It's because we're supposed to mitigate how many people, because they actually had, I want to say, the fire inspector come in and told them, like, you can't have these many people in the store. I'm like, but we've always had these many people in the store. And so that's why they had actually start implementing this whole line outside and only so many people inside. And then, like I said, when corporate came in, the first thing they did was they're like, check this out. No lines. You let everybody in. And and it's crazy because everyone's shoulder to shoulder in line with no practicing of social distancing. And then they just implemented the rule, I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago, like you said, like it's required. If you want to come in, you got to have a mask, but it's not enforced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just so crazy, And that's also something I want to talk to you about too. Have you been on any of these like Let Go, Craigslist, Offer Up, 5 Mile apps? Looked up weights right now?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a guy on Marketplace. I looked up Craigslist. I don't know. I don't follow all the app stuff, but I probably should. Because some you mentioned I never heard of. But I looked up Wish. I looked up Facebook was the worst. They're like, I wanted to buy those dumbbells.
Yeah.
They were the adjustable ones.
Yeah.
Twist them.
Yeah, I reckon.
They're like $100. So in the beginning, I'm like, all right, I don't work out at home. I just go to the gym when I work out. I don't spend a ton of time there. I'm like, if I buy these for $100, am I going to use them afterwards? I'm like, so I went back and forth. And eventually I should have just bought them when they were $90.
Yep.
But I
now
went
they're like $1,000.
at like $900. So I sent an email to this guy. I said, do you seriously think you're going to get $900 for these dumbbells? I'm like, they're just dumbbells. I can buy them for $99. I sent him a picture. He goes, yeah, but they won't work like these.
Let me tell you something right now. Yeah.
I said, so if I twist the dial, what's going to happen?
Exactly. No, it's hilarious right now because, like I said, it's just like, you know, I mentioned all those apps, and, you know, I've always collected weights and collected workout equipment. Okay. So, you know, and before this whole pandemic, people would give this shit away for free. They're like, look, just come pick it up. I don't even want it. Right. And then as soon as this whole thing happens, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh shit, the gyms are closed. This is closed. Now, let me go pick everything up, and it fucked it up for everybody else. And like I seen a pair of 25-pound dumbbells, a set of 25-pound dumbbells trying to go for like $250. I'm like, are you fucking serious? It's $1 a pound. That's how much weights usually cost, brand new.
You can get them down to 50, 55 cents.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Nobody's doing that right now.
Well, it's supply and demand. I think people get a little greedy and they're scared. You know, when people get desperate, they do really freaky, crazy things. Right? Yeah. Luckily, we haven't had riots. We haven't had shootings.
Yeah.
You know, thank God, knock on wood, you know. Yeah. But if you want to go into all the other stuff going on, this pandemic, the hoax and the deep state and all that fun stuff, we're happy to dive into some of it because I've been studying a lot. I mean, hundreds of hours of what I've learned. That I'm not a political person. I've never been into politics and stuff like that. I still am not, but it's just amazing how corrupt they really are. Because I know when I was about 20, 22, when my father was around, he was born in 1920.
Yeah.
He would have been 100 this year. Damn. So learning what my dad knew back in the day compared to what we go through, this ain't nothing. We have food. We have things. They didn't have shoes back then. They didn't have food. You know, so things I've learned so far, what a mess.
Man, what a mess. And like I said, to be honest, even with like the whole, I know of one person who got the coronavirus. Yeah. And the only reason I know of it is because he's like the grandson of my godmother, you know. And,
on your second cousin side.
Exactly. You know, no, and that's the truth. That's the truth.
Totally
that's the
understand.
only person that I've actually like. I've seen, you know, I've met him, I've talked to him all the time, but I have not seen him in months. And someone had mentioned to me, oh, did you hear that this person got it? I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so, you know, and that's like the counts of coronavirus. Like I said, I'm not trying to knock it or say, you know, whatever it is. But the thing is like I said, with all this crazy stuff going on, I only know of one person, and I haven't even seen that person sick. So
I don't know anybody. And I actually called at one point about 2 weeks ago. I actually called the CDC about a month ago.
Okay.
Just to see what they would say. I'm like, hey, what if I don't feel good? What do you guys do? You know, who is someone? I know someone to feel good. They didn't answer their phone. They actually had no voicemail even set up.
Damn.
I'm like, all right, so Fauci and Gates, you're so concerned about the people, but I can't get through to you. What if I was a single mom and I was home by myself, or I'm 70 years old and I have a bad knee and I really can't get up out of a chair? Yeah. You're not available to help me. There's no crisis hotline. Then last week I called the hospital where I live, and all of Allegheny County in Pittsburgh. I called. I said, hey, I disguised my name. I'm like, hey, my name's Michael Johnson. I'm doing a survey, quick interview with what's going on with the pandemic. I go, can you tell me anything about it? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And she's like, she didn't say a word. I'm like, hello? I was recording it. I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you there? I'm like, I asked you a fucking question. Yeah. She transferred me to the infectious disease department. And I guess it was like the controller or director. I said, my name's Michael Johnson. I'm doing a quick survey on the pandemic. I'm trying to figure out some investigation work. I go, what's going on with the pandemic? And she goes, depends on what you mean by what's going on. I said, well, okay, is it a serious problem? Is it not a problem?
Yeah.
Because my girlfriend went to the hospital almost 2 months ago to have a procedure done, and they told her to go to the ER because the doctors weren't available normal.
Yeah.
I was like, she goes, there's nobody there. This is almost 2 months ago. Yeah. I said, what are you talking about? I thought people were sick. She goes, no, there's a couple pregnant women there and one other guy just kind of like sitting in a chair. Yeah. I was like, okay, so it's really true. This is fake. And then when I called them, she goes, well, we've only had 30. This is what I swear she said, if anyone wants the phone number, you can call. She said, we only had 32 cases in all of Allegheny County, and that includes 10 hospitals. I said, 10 hospitals? Oh, I said, you said 32, right? Not 3,200? She goes, no, 32. And she kind of sighed. She went, yeah. I go, so it's nowhere near what they say. She goes, that's a pretty good evaluation of it. I was like, at that point, I didn't know what to say. I was going to start asking more questions, and I'm like, she's probably been bombarded with too much stuff, and I want to overload her. And, I'm like, all right, have a great day. So I got off the phone. I went, all right. So all this conspiracy stuff that I've been looking into is the dots all connect.
Yeah.
To me, it's becoming truer and truer as days go by.
Yeah.
And the great things that if people don't know, the one big plus we have in our society that we have won as people is this mandated thing that Fauci and Gates were trying to push through the Congress. Done. They got nixed by Trump. So you know what? Good for him. Good for the company, or good for the country. I think we'll be back on track. The hard part's the second wave is preparing ourselves for what's going to happen next.
Exactly. No, and that's the truth, because, like I said, it and because there's all this talk of when winter comes back, and when and when we start hitting the fall, will there be a resurgence, and that's the thing though too, is like
that's normal.
It is normal, but
normal.
The thing is too is what drives me crazy is, like, I don't understand any of the panic buying. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like the world stopped or the world ended or is ending. It was more of like, oh, you have to stay home for a month, and then everyone bombards every store, buys everything up, and then wonder why there's nothing around. I'm like, this company no one was prepared for that. No one was prepared for the panic buying.
Sure.
It happened. It ensued on us because, like I said, I work for Costco, so I'm on the front line of watching all this stuff happen. People are spending hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, all on
toilet paper,
on necessities that you really don't need to overspend. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy. It's just crazy, and it's like, and then plus we're having a meat shortage, and so a lot of places are limiting how much meat you can buy, and it's just so.
Is that true right now?
Yeah, that's true right now.
All right. So I heard some of the farmers talk, and everyone's like, no, that's not true. They're trying to get money. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so, because I don't trust. I'm sorry, I just don't trust the government. I never have. I never will.
Oh yeah, no.
They're two-faced. They're totally two-faced.
Meat shortage right now, because like I said, from what I understand, Smithfield Farms is one of the biggest pork producers in the world, or at least in the United States.
Right.
They said that they had a couple of outbreaks of coronavirus, so they shut down for about 2 to 3 weeks to sanitize. And then in the midst of all this happening, a Chinese company ended up buying Smithfield's company. And so now what it is pork is now raised here, frozen, sent to China, butchered there, and is going to be shipped back to America.
That sounds like more coronavirus waiting to happen.
So
yeah. My question?
Like I say, that's just what I heard and what I read in the articles.
So the funny thing is there's so much stuff going on with this China. It's hard to point fingers, but at the end of the day, they're still responsible because it happened in their country. Yeah. Whether they did it or not, we don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, I speculate.
A sickness happened. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. But I do